As someone knee-deep in the Apple ecosystem, I have to admit, it's fairly rare when I step outside that ecosystem. But the Headphone 1 from Nothing is different, in a good way. First and foremost, it features a very opinionated look and design. But most importantly, it has really good sound quality. And a lot of this is owed to a partnership with Kef, who is well known for their high-end audio products. I've actually had a few Kef speakers myself, and they sound great. So needless to say, I was intrigued when Nothing offered to sponsor this video to check out the Nothing Headphone 1. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed right now and check it out and see what's inside. So we'll just open up the package like that, slide out the box. So inside you'll see the carrying case. It looks like a regular carrying case. It's very low profile. That's nice to have. You have the QR code to download the Nothing X companion app. And inside this package, you get a quick start guide and a 3.5mm cable, along with a USB Type-C cable. So here it is, folks, the Headphone 1 in its carrying case. Let's go ahead and take it out and take a look at the design up close and personal. So it all starts out with the aluminum exterior, and what's really cool is that these headphones only weigh 329 grams, so they're super lightweight, even though they have that sort of industrial vibe going for it. Nothing incorporates that iconic transparent look with premium build materials. You can see it right here, and it looks very different than your average pair of headphones that you would grab from your favorite big box store. These look different. Dare I say whimsical they are. And you're going to notice some of that whimsical nature via the Nothing X app that you'll download. So you're going to go ahead and pair right now. We'll just hold the little pairing button right here, which is inside the right ear cup. You'll see the light flash. It'll scan on the app. And there you go. You can connect to the Headphone 1. Just like that. So Bluetooth pairing request, we'll go ahead and pair. And there you go. You're connected using Bluetooth 5.3. And for Apple devices, it'll use the AAC Bluetooth codec, whereas if you're an Android user, you can actually use LDAC, the high definition Bluetooth codec. So it's nice to have options. If you're an Android user, that is something you want to keep in mind. But the nice thing here is that there are multiple connectivity options. You can connect to your iPhone or your iPad or your Mac via USB-C, just like this. So now you have a hardwired, no latency audio connection directly to your iOS device. This is a great option if you're creating music, for instance, in Logic Pro or Ableton Note or whatever the case may be. This is the way you want to go ahead and do that. But in addition to USB-C audio, there's also a built-in 3.5mm headphone jack connection that you can use and connect to devices as well. This is super handy if you want to connect to legacy devices or you're connecting to a mixer. Again, when working with audio, when editing audio, when creating music, this is an advantage over Bluetooth connectivity because there's zero latency involved. Now let's talk about controlling these headphones. First and foremost, you have the on-off switch right here next to the LED light that turns on when it's powered on or when it's charging. It'll indicate the charging status. And then you have your roller, which is a very interesting, whimsical way, you hear that? A whimsical way to control your volume and to control. Oh, that sounds great. I love the sound design here that Nothing employs, including that when switching over to active noise cancellation. And then you have your rocker here to skip forward and go back and to scrub through your audio. Just like that. And as I mentioned, you get that whimsical design, so you can see how intuitive the controls are with the rocker and with the roller for quickly adjusting volume. It's just a very natural feeling, and I really like the implementation here. There's also the button right here that allows you to invoke Siri, and you can customize these buttons via the Nothing X app. So for the button, you have a single press. You can change that and map it to noise control or spatial audio or mute or EQ presets, or you can set it to no action. That's a single press, so I'll set that to mic mute. And then you have a press and hold, and you can again customize that. I'll make that my voice assistant. You also have the roller, so for a single press, it's not customizable, that's just play and pause. For a press and hold, You can activate your noise control, so you can enable transparency or noise cancellation or off. And then for roll, that's not customizable either. That's just your volume control. And then finally, you have your paddle. So your paddle right and left allows you to skip forward, skip back, answer and hang up calls. And then a long press is a fast forward and rewind. Thanks to tuning by Kef, the sound quality of the Nothing Headphone 1 is really good. You get efficient sound delivery, vivid bass thanks to a 40mm speaker with a nickel-plated diaphragm, rim, and dome to help deliver higher frequency sounds, with reduced distortion thanks to the added rigidity. The result, natural vocals, rich details in the highs and mids, and plenty of low-end bass with deep, richer tones in the low frequencies. But the app takes it one step further. Of course, you have noise cancellation, so you can switch between active noise cancellation with 3 different levels, along with adaptive, perfect for a noisy coffee shop or airplane. And for those times when you need to hear your surroundings, there's transparency mode, which pipes in the sound. Of course, all this can be controlled from the Nothing app, but it can also be controlled from the headphones themselves. And if you're looking for a more immersive experience, there's also spatial audio support. You can set it to fixed or head-tracked spatial audio. But honestly, folks, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because there's a whole host of additional enhancements found in the Nothing app to improve your audio experience. There's bass enhancement, and there's actually multiple levels of bass enhancement that you can enable, from level 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 5 for you hip hop fans. And there's personal sound profiles, so you can actually go in here and create a unique personal sound profile to have a custom tuned sound experience that's just for you. And the equalizer setting not only allows you to adjust the EQ, both simple and advanced, but you can actually download individual sound profiles that have been expertly tuned in advance. That's super cool. And if you have multiple devices you like to connect to, there's of course dual connection capability. So I have my MacBook Pro and my iPhone 16 Pro Max connected. And you can go in here and enable over-ear detection. So whenever you put the headphones on or you take them off, the music will start and stop accordingly. But you're probably wondering to yourself, okay, so all that sounds great, but what's the battery life like? Well, first and foremost, you can quickly check the exact battery life via the Nothing X app. As you can see there, headphone 1, 90% charged. The cool thing about this though is that you can use the USB-C connection to quickly charge. So you can charge it from a MacBook, you can charge it from a power pack, or obviously a wall outlet as well. But you just plug in like that and you can see the charge indicator. And you can go from 0 to 100% in just about 2 hours via USB-C. And with ANC off, a 5-minute charge will yield 5 hours of playback. For AAC playback on Apple devices, you get 80 hours with ANC off or 35 hours with ANC on. Android users using LDAC get 54 or 30 hours respectively with ANC off or on. And for talk time, up to 80 hours with ANC off or 35 hours with ANC on. So I really enjoy my time with the Nothing Headphone 1. I especially like it because it's flexible. For instance, you're not going to get any lag when you use a direct USB-C connection, which is great for banging out drums in Logic Pro on iPad. But of course, having wireless Bluetooth gives you that ultimate flexibility, and that's how I imagine I'd be using these most of the time. But one thing I really will say about these, I love the tactile controls. I love the fact that it has great active noise cancellation and great sound quality overall thanks to that Kef tuning. But really my biggest takeaway, Headphone 1, it's just fun. It's whimsical with a fun design. And I'll say that Nothing, yeah, you guys got a new fan. Check out the link down below to learn more and take advantage of this year's final deals. They'll be ending soon. Special thanks to Nothing for sponsoring 9 to 5 Mac.